Okay, we're live.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Good afternoon to the joint nominating working group meeting. Um, should I say the closed captioning is not working as intended, so we have a website for those of you who are interested that I'm going to read now, and then we will have David Lambeth call the roll. But the closed caption website, for those of you that have pen and paper, is https://www stream text.net /player event equals UNCBOTJAN29. And David, will you call the roll?
Thank you. Miss Blanchard,
Here.
Mr. Bryan,
Here.
Miss Metz,
Here.
Mr. Patel is absent, Miss Renner,
Here.
and Miss White.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum, and I'm just gonna keep the mic for a second. Since this is our first meeting, and thank you all for being here and agreeing to serve on this committee, we do not yet have a chair, and the process actually calls for the election of co-chairs. And so I'm going to just preside very briefly over that process, and then hand it off to the to one of the two co-chairs once they've been elected. So this will take a majority vote of the 6 members. So we have 5 here, so we'll need 3 in order to have a majority vote of the members present. And I'll just stop there and open the floor if anyone would like to nominate, if any of the members would like to nominate someone, one of the 6 to be a co-chair.
I would like to nominate Joy Renner. Do we have to?
If you
I'll
need a
second
second, I'll
that.
second it.
Okay. I don't know for.
Okay, any discussion or debate, or what we can move forward the vote on Joy before we move to the next co-chair?
Discussion, I would just say Joy has been very helpful in keeping this process moving and getting behind all the nooks and corners. So I think we need her. That's my discussion.
Thank you, Trustee White. I'll go ahead and call for a vote. All those in favor of nominating of Joy serving as a co-chair?
Aye.
Aye, yes.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, congratulations, Joy. I guess I can hand it to you now for the election of the second co-chair.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a great process. And I'd like to point out that Lynn Blanchard has been right there beside me the whole way. So Lynn, I was kind of hoping you might go, I could do it. Okay, so we will open the floor for nominations for co-chair from the Board of Trustees.
I would love to nominate
Well,
Rob Bell.
I was gonna nominate Ramsey White. So I don't know.
All right, so we have
Not to be silly about this, but I'm happy. I don't know how much you guys know, but Rob has been a part just from the past moving forward and has been very helpful. And I think just thinking about, we need to have a process and encouraging me. So it really can go both ways. I've done a lot of work going into this and I'm happy to continue. I think I'll still obviously have the awards committee, but personally, I think it'd be helpful to have another board member as, I guess, detailed involvement as I've been in this. But again, we could pick at straws on this. So, Rob, I don't know. Do you have the time? I mean, you're busy with your business.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could nominate Danae if I really, without him being here tonight today. So,
Well, he's not here, so that's.
You know what happens when you don't show up. You don't know what tasks you get assigned. Yeah, I mean, might be safer to have Ramsey do it, but I'm glad
Okay. I just didn't know about your time.
Yeah, I know that's why I'm acknowledging that. But I'm glad to discuss further if we need to.
Okay,
But
well, I'm fine. I'm fine being,
I'd love to nominate Ramsey if I can stay with that.
okay.
All right, so we have two nominations, Ramsey and Rob from the floor. Any other nominations or discussion? Okay, votes for Ramsey,
I
Winifred. Okay, I might, okay, all right. So we have 4, and Rob, you said yes, so 1. Ramsey, are you voting for yourself?
No, I'm gonna vote for Rob. But I will happily do it, yeah.
All right, so 4 for Ramsey and 1 for Rob. So Ramsey, it looks like you're stuck working with me for a little
I'm
while
great with
longer.
that. I don't want this to come across as I'm not on board, but no, I think this is good. We have a great team.
Yeah. And this co-chair situation is elected every year. It's annually. So Ramsey and I can keep things moving this year, and then we'll make hopefully a smooth handoff to someone else on the committee for next year to keep it moving. All right. So I think if does everyone know everyone, or should we do some introductions? So I'm not sure everyone knows Rob, and I'm not sure.
I've never met
Rob
Winifred
knows all
and
the
Helena. I feel
faculty.
like I already know Helena because she's been so helpful. I
Yeah.
don't technically know you yet.
Yeah. Lynn, how about you kick it off and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Lynn Blanchard, and I'm on faculty in the Department of Health Behavior at the Gilling School of Global Public Health. And I am also the director of the campus-wide Carolina Center for Public Service. And I've been on the committee for, I think, 3 years now, and chair for 2 of the faculty committee on honorary degrees and special awards.
David?
Hey, everybody. I am here to help staff the committee. I'm Associate Vice Chancellor and Chief Governance Officer, work with Chris McClure on Board of Trustees matters, and also serve as a governance resource to the entire community, among some other things.
Winifred?
I'm Winifred Fordham Metz. I've been at UNC for far too long. I'm triple Tar Heel, undergrad, grad, and now I work here as the head of the Media and Design Center in the undergraduate library, where I work with faculty, students, and staff and alumni. I've been on this committee for 2 years, I think, and before that I was on the Chancellor's Advisory, and before that Library Advisory and Faculty Council.
Okay, Ramsey?
Hey there, I'm Ramsey White, and I am on the Board of Trustees and am only a single Tar Heel, but I only have 1 degree, so hopefully that counts multiple times over. So I've only gotten 1 from Carolina, and I'm happy to be working with you all.
Rob?
Hey, Rob Bryan. I am a Tar Heel and did go to law school at that place about 8 miles down the road, which shall not be named. But I been on the Board of Trustees with Ramsey actually the whole time for about the past 5 years. So glad to be helping on this process.
Helena?
I'm Helena Canego in the Office of Faculty Governance. I have been working on the faculty side on awards for about 5 or 6 years. So I'm here if you have any questions about past issues.
Paulette?
Hi, I'm Paulette Stroman. I work with the Board of Trustees, managing board operations, and also assist with David with university governance.
Chris?
Hi, Chris McClure. I, Secretary of the University, work with our trustees. Appreciate you all being here today.
I'm Joy Renner, and my real day job is I'm the division director for radiologic science in the School of Medicine, where I have 4 programs. And currently my role on main campus is I'm secretary of the faculty. So it's a good working group. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, recognizing that our timelines will never be this tight again due to the process and policy that has been laid out. We'll have reasonable time to review our nominees, but we have a truncated version this year with trying to get the 2026 Distinguished Alumni Awards done quickly so that they can be notified, since these will be awarded in October, and the honorary degrees as well. That'll be happening pretty quickly as well, but in the future will not be this quick. So the Distinguished Alumni Awards need to be decided by this group and go to so the nominees will come in by the week of the 9th. This group will develop the slate of Distinguished Alumni Awards, and then that will go to the Honorary Degrees and Special Awards Committee on main campus to review, give any feedback. The slate that this committee decides to send forward to Faculty Council, the Honorary Degrees and Special Awards Committee will present to Faculty Council in March. Is that right? No, February. And then if we go from there, it will go to the March Board of Trustees, Awards Committee, and then to the Board of Trustees at their March meeting. Honorary degrees will be a month behind that. So we'll just be deciding honorary degrees, then in February, going to the Honorary Degrees Committee on campus early March, so that it can make the March or April meeting for, actually it'll have to be the March meeting for Faculty Council. So then Ramsey and the Awards Committee has time to look at it and take it to the board in May, so that those candidates can know that I shouldn't say candidates, nominees, knowing who has been selected May 2026, so that they know for May 2027. So we have a tighter timeline this time. In the future, I hope everyone received the copy of the policies from the Board of Trustees, the regulation from the Board of Trustees, as well as the new policy and procedure. In the future, we will be discussing Distinguished Alumni Awards in June and July. It'll follow in a September, October, November selection process, so that they would be notified in November for the following year. And the honorary degrees would happen in January, February, March, April, again, to give a year notice. So we will be on a much more sane schedule once we work through this process for 2026 and 2027. So I want to express extreme appreciation to this group for coming together quickly, and also sharing your calendars and being willing to be flexible for having our meetings. And we'll be discussing our nominees at our next meeting in February for the Distinguished Alumni Awards. And right now, I just want to are there any questions about the new regulations or the new policy and procedure? I know it was kind of a lot to take in. It was something new. It's a wonderful collaborative process that starts from the very beginning, and then goes with faculty, and it goes back to the board, with the chancellor being the person who actually contacts our recipients. So first, we'll start with any questions about the policy procedure, particularly for anybody besides Ramsey and myself and Lynn, who have been working on this for a while, and David.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but Mark, the next slide has a flow chart that shows all this
good.
as well, if that people might want to see.
That would be great. You can be
And
our
I know
trailer.
we've
You
talked
can be our
about this
trailer,
at-
David.
Yeah.
David can be our trailer and tell us what's the coming event on the slides.
Right.
There we go. Thank you.
And this is
Yeah.
thanks to Joy and Lynn and whoever else helped you guys. I love the color coding. And in some ways, I feel like if you just look at this, it makes sense. But we have the words to back it up too. But Rob, do you have any, because I know we've talked about it in our board meetings, but it's been more, we've had the materials and they've had access to it, but I don't think we've ever really had time to. Right.
No, and
We've had time, but we haven't discussed it in detail more than just this is coming.
And I had a death in the family, so I was out last board meeting, and so I had seen this, and I guess one question I had a little more familiarity with at least I knew the faculty process on the honorary degrees was a longer one. I don't know what the prior process was for the distinguished alumni. I felt like we made those were shorter timeline decisions than maybe the honorary degrees, but and David, I don't know if I don't know if you can remind me exactly what the prior process was like for that.
So previously, both of these went through the honorary degrees and special awards committee, and those decisions were made pretty far in advance. But David, you can address what's happened the last 2 years, since that wasn't our process.
Yeah, well, thanks, Rob. And really, I think that the key here is that the faculty and the board use sort of separate processes to ultimately lead to, and the board of trustees has the ultimate authority to approve these, to ultimately lead to a slate of candidates that the board would approve at the appropriate meeting in order to then reach out to the approved nominees to see if they would accept and be at the event. The goal here was really to get rid of that confusion and identify a process where trustees and faculty representatives could work together and at the very beginning of this new process come up with a joint slate. That's what this group is for, is to do the hard work of deciding which nominees this group would like to put forward, to then get input from various faculty groups and ultimately go to the board of trustees for approval. So I think it's less what were the processes and more that the processes in place weren't very they weren't compatible, they weren't aligning very well, and so we're trying to solve for that.
And in terms of timeline, we would like to notify the recipients a year in advance, because if the people we're selecting, if they have the imminent careers that we are assuming they will have, those folks have very busy schedules, and we would need to be on their calendars a year in advance.
So it just allows for more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my only comment, I certainly understand that with the honorary degrees, probably because of the way graduations are and everything. I guess maybe I just think alumni are more likely to show back up at our institution than honorary degree folks might be, and that's fine. I wasn't. I think I had a little more familiarity with the timing, and then maybe maybe I wasn't 100% sure that the timing was matching for both of them, and it strikes me as a pretty long time, but if that's what we've agreed to, that's fine.
I think, Rob, one thing that probably is at least falls on the side of this being a good idea is the last time the faculty committee did the distinguished alumni degrees, actually one of the recipients even a year out could not do it, and deferred it for another year. So it worked out all right, but it's probably an issue for everybody. And I guess my feeling is it doesn't hurt to do it way ahead of time.
Well, and maybe I should say, I appreciate that point. Well, maybe I should just say, because we're on a tighter timeline this year, maybe I'm a little bit more worried about getting them submitted this year. Because once you got the process started, and partly because we have a little bit of issue with trying to, I said, if you got a board member, I think, I don't know who got tasked from our side last time with putting some materials together for somebody, but and I don't know how it works on the faculty side, but I was more just thinking, gosh, if they're due really quickly, is that sufficient time to submit whatever we normally submit, at least for the spring? Because I think going forward, to your point, you'll get some in, you'll have more time over the next year to think about it. But maybe I was just worried about this year.
Right, because people can nominate throughout the whole year. And then we would just look at them at specific times, right? We have deadlines for them, but to your point, Rob, this year is really tight, right? We're already late for notifying people about in October 2026. So that's why there's sort of this truncated version. So we may end up having fewer DAAs this year than normal, but we'll have to see. I think there's some people who have already nominated, and it is open to everyone, right? So it's open to board of trustees, the whole community, alumni, students, staff, faculty, everyone. So I think we've got a pretty broad net, And there may be some people who already had some folks in mind in previous years that can put some materials together pretty quickly.
And so just for housekeeping moving forward, we have this meeting and we have the 9th scheduled. Is our thought process just as we leave this to in the 9th, we would be discussing just a slate for DAAs, correct? And then our later February meeting, the goal would be to be discussing the honorary degree slate, correct?
That's
okay.
right. That's right.
So Rob, I think, as we send this message out, and one of the things that Dave and I were talking about, I need to actually, with all these emails planning this, I need to actually go and find the actual email that was sent to us live announcing that they're up and running. But I will
And
send.
you're right, Ramsey. We did get one, but I'm kind of with you. Like you know how our email.
So I'm gonna go find that email, resend it to our board just to say, guys, this is top of inbox, and kind of reiterate the 9th is a DAA submission. And then David, I think is the Board of Visitors email gone out, as well as the Carolina alumni, not to put that on you, but were you the one who was talking with Veronica or someone else? I forget my email.
I talked to Veronica.
You did, okay.
She was meeting with her board this weekend.
That's right.
And she's aware of the tighter timeline this year and understands going forward. And she was going to let them know that going forward, they're going to discuss this at their April board meeting so they can have their DAAs ready to go in June and July for this group.
So Rob, I think we should just really, you, Vinay, and I need to just get this top of mind, top of inbox, what I have you for the 9th for our distinguished alumni. If there's, we've had discussion, we didn't have as much discussion about candidates just because we were so happy and focused on having this process. But I do think everyone needs to be kind of alerted to, you need to go on and submit the form for DAA by the 9th. And like we just said, this is fast. We'll have time to do it again here shortly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We'll start the process again in June and July for the 2027. So.
I will just say, I had somebody 2 days ago say to me, who would be a great candidate? I mean, just kind of in passing. And I said, well, nominate them. You can do it. And they said, well, it probably should come from somebody in the English department. I said, it can come from anybody. If you think they're good, fill out a nomination form.
And that's why I have you guys, do you have, and I know we have the nomination form and we talked about how, and just, I'll say this, Rob, because we will be able to, the nomination form will do the kind of nuts and bolts. And then there's a section where you can include a letter of recommendation. And then if someone has a link to their CV, they can put it there, or their bio. I believe, or their bio, or what have you. Yeah. And so, but there will be a contact where, once you submit, you will get like a thank you for submitting. And I believe, am I correct? We decided there would be like an email to that too, where you could then also send the CV once you've nominated, like if they don't have the link. Is that what we figured out?
Right. If they don't have a link, then they would email it in.
Right. So Rob, I think that's another thing we just, for anyone that's asking from our side, the board, because this is new, that we need to really push them to the website. And I can put it in the chat right here, send it to us later, but it's on the Office of the Chancellor and it's live, but it'll also be in that email that we can send. Just to make sure that people, don't miss the deadline and don't feel like they didn't have their, whatever people considered. And then it sounds like Veronica's on top of it. And then I will check in with Jenny Cobb about if she's also, like you're saying, Lynn, anyone's kind of verbally said, oh, someone who would be good on the Board of Visitors, and just really kind of push people to this website. Cause I think that's where we'll find the most luck. But then after all of that.
Helena, can we also send out a broadcast email to campus? I think we can.
That's already gone out.
It's gone out. Okay.
That went out on.
No, the broadcast email to campus was just in our newsletter. We haven't sent out a specific.
I mean, through the system that goes out.
The university sent this.
The university did. Yeah. The university did.
The university already sent it out.
But we put it in our newsletter.
Okay.
There's been a campus-wide email calling for
Okay.
nominations and giving the deadlines, and Jenny Cobb, I think should have already sent that to the Board of Visitors, but
I'm
I'll
sure she
confirm on
has,
that,
and
Ramsey.
she's probably already told me she has because she's always on top of it.
And people don't need
Um,
to feel like this is their only opportunity, right? This is
Right.
just for the 2026, right? If people have
Yes,
really good
that's the
people, but
key.
they
It's
can't get
just
it done,
fast.
then they can be a 2027.
So I think, and I'm willing to do this. I think we should also send it out to the chair of employee forum. And of course, I assume it goes out to faculty as well. But, you know, if we have actual groups that may, you know, where we can get a group of people together just to let them know. Or remind them, I would say.
Yeah, well, I'll email the chair of the faculty of the employee forum.
I will just say that as working with our center, which has a lot of awards and nominations processes as well, nothing works like asking individuals to nominate somebody. So I would just encourage all of us as well to think about
Right.
if there are people we think are deserving, somebody who would like to nominate them, to contact somebody to nominate them.
I would be careful of anyone on this group doing that.
No, I'm not saying that we should nominate them.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm saying we've got this, you've got people in your department, in your area that I'm sure would be good nominate, just a reminder.
yeah, I would be careful about this group.
Yeah.
Doing that individually, because then it could look like you wanted that person to get one.
I know,
So
I'm just thinking about like the faculty in my department,
Okay,
sending it out to them saying, "Hey, you all got this, but just to note, you know, not saying nominate so-and-so or anything like that."
yeah, I would just be careful about us doing any direct contact. I would just be wary of that, because the message went out to all the faculty. I
But
understand
the
what you're
only
saying,
faculty who got it are the ones who read the mass emails.
I know. I'm just saying though, I'm just trying to be careful with this
Yeah.
group, since it's new. Because that would mean your faculty got a special email, but not all the departments got a special email reminding them about it. That's the only thing. I'm overcautious. I will admit to the entire group right now, if you have not worked with me like David and Ramsey have, I err on the side of caution for any type of appearance of something looking like we're doing something. So Lynn, I understand what you're saying to trying to get people to do it. I understand that 100%.
And I'm talking about the existing conduits to let people know. You know who we should send it out to that would be the whole campus is the communicators forum.
Well, we're also trying to get a story in the well. So that would be.
And that
next
actually,
year.
I hadn't thought about that till now, but the communicators send something out to the communicators all over campus, to every communicator on campus.
Yeah, I'm on that listserv if you want me to forward the
That would be
campus
great,
message
Elena.
to them and ask them to share it.
Because I will say that communicators are also motivated to recognize people. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, they know what's going on.
That would be better. I would like that better if it came
So
from
let's
the
do that.
communicators than I would it coming from anyone in this group. I would feel more comfortable with that.
Here's something that I actually thought about. I don't know if this is for this right now, but so we define who can nominate, right? Can a previous distinguished alum award winner nominate? And then, so that one kind of makes sense, but could a previous honorary degree, once you've received one, are you considered part of the, I mean, I would argue you're considered the Carolina community. Could you nominate going forward?
I think they would have to fall into the categories, right? They'd have to be faculty, alumni, something in our community.
I think technically.
But I guess as a
alumni
past
if they've got an
honorary degree recipient considered an alumni.
They're now faculty, right? I mean, they're now alums.
Alums. They're
Right. That's what
alums
I'm just
if they've
saying.
got
Like, yeah, okay. But okay, so I think this also, is there more questions? Because Rob, I know Rob's been really involved in the past, as it sounds like you have, Helena and Winifred, before there was maybe more of a detailed process. But as far as housekeeping moving forward for the 9th, do you have any questions?
It's the week of the 9th. I want to be clear. It's not
right
on the 9th.
Yeah.
It's the week of the 9th.
Right. It's the week of the 9th. Sorry, I should stop speaking generalizations, but yes, we should become prepared to discuss the SharePoint. And that was my next question, just housekeeping wise. Is that something that will get sent to us or log? I mean, not to be silly, but is that?
Yeah, Paulette did that in the email for this meeting. There is a
Okay,
link
I didn't
there
look yet. Okay,
that you
sorry.
can, yeah, no, that's okay. There's a link for the documents. And then at the third link, that takes you to the SharePoint.
Okay. And would you, because you guys, again, have had a great process moving forward. So sorry from the past, and we're moving forward with it. Would you suggest that we look at that leading up to our meeting, or do you think it should just be organic? Yes. Okay. So once we should be looking at it.
Ramsey, ideally, if we're going to discuss them, we should not only be looking at them, we should be filling out our own, even if we don't make it public. We should be filling out our own rubric.
Right. Just to make sure for timing wise, like it's not like we're showing up and looking up the first time. So Rob, you, Vinay, and I, we need to be, checking the SharePoint and making sure we're prepared for the meeting. Yeah. Okay.
Which is a good segue. To David to talk about this SharePoint.
Yeah, and Ramsey, I'll just say I'm newer to the committee than Joy and Lynn are, and I found it really helpful to have to read the stuff well in advance and do that rubric. It's a good place to pop your notes so you can remember to have something to refer to as you're discussing it in group.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. Makes it efficient in your.
Yeah, so we'll be posting a rubric on our SharePoint site that'll have those categories, those criteria, have a little chart for everyone to use. So yes, everyone would want to have reviewed all of the nominations prior to coming to the meeting. All right, David, your turn.
Thank you. And just before I start, I just got confirmation from Jenny Cobb that this did go to Board of Visitors.
Awesome. I figured it had.
She's hopeful to get some nominations from at least from that board. So that's great. Okay, this is just a screenshot of what the SharePoint site will look like when you open it. I wanted to make sure everybody understood what they were going to see. The reason that I'm not going to run through the website is because most of the substance is under the tab that says nomination form responses, and that would show the names. Of course, we will discuss candidates next time and in closed session. There's the option to put documents in here, and so we can, if we haven't already, we'll make sure that the Board of Trustees regulation, the policy document that the university published are in here as references. And we can include materials from these meetings, if helpful as well. There's not a whole lot to say about this other than this will be relevant more, I think, to the trustees, but you'll need to use your UNC credentials, your Onion credentials to log in. This is all run through a UNC hosted site. It's password protected. If you have any trouble, please let Paulette or me know, and we're happy to help troubleshoot on that. But again, when you do click on the nomination form responses link, you will see a list of who has been nominated. There are a few in there already. It will show you the letters that were written, the way that we set up the form, which of course is linked through the website hosted on the Chancellor's Office website. You enter basic information about yourself as a nominator and about the nominee, and then the nominator has to write a letter of nomination, and that's written in a field on the form. So there are not attachments. Paulette tells me that the documents have already been uploaded, the background documents. That's great. Thank you, Paulette. And it gives the option for other letters of recommendation as well. And so if someone is nominating, they can recruit others and then include the text of those letters in the additional boxes on the nomination form. So all that's going to show up when you look at the nomination form responses. That is the nomination itself. People can link to externally available CVs or resumes. A lot of people who would be nominated would have those available online anyway. But we did not include an ability to attach anything or a requirement that a CV or resume exists. There are a few other things that would get filled out, and you'll see all that as you look through this about the criteria for the award. But that's it. I'm happy to answer any questions about this. I mostly wanted to make sure you all had a chance to see the format of what you would be reviewing when you go to look at nominations.
I have a question. So, and maybe I wasn't listening. Well, where were the rubrics? So if someone nominates, I get it. Let's say nominations from responses. And then if they had put their CV link in there, will it be a nomination from responses, or will it create the document and go in documents? Maybe I wasn't listening very
No, that's a
clearly.
good question. It'll just be a link to the web page where the CV exists. You'd click on the link and it would take you to the CV.
In the nomination form responses, it would be there.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
And then documents would just be used as a separate place if in fact someone had emailed in a different way.
If we
See what I'm
got
saying?
that,
Like, let's say I don't have a
yes.
CV link and someone nominated me and it's not in my nomination form responses, but then they emailed it separately. Is that going to be in documents, or somehow going to be populated under
So
like
there-
Ramsey White?
There were some security concerns with
Mhm.
allowing attachments. That's how we ended up where we are.
Right, I remember
Very
that, yeah.
Understandable. So really, the CV part is just to provide a link.
Got it.
The
But David, if
documents
they
have-
want to send a CV, like the nominator
Right.
wants to send the CV because there wasn't a link, will that get attached when they email that CV? Will that get attached under nomination forms, or will it be put into documents on the SharePoint?
If that happens, we'll make sure that we notify the members of that, and it would need to go under documents. But
Okay.
I'm hoping that will be exceedingly rare.
Yeah.
Right.
What documents?
Or like a document, maybe a folder with their name, or the file would be their name. So it would be common sense.
Yeah, we'll make sure that it is common sense if you're looking for it.
It's not going to be. Okay.
But we'll also ensure that, y'all will know in advance if that's happened.
And did we get an email address assigned for this group? Did we get that done? That's just the
Paulette
group.
Or did we talked about maybe having a general one rather than using
Yeah.
Paulette or
Yeah.
I don't know.
not that we can't use Paulette's or Helena or who, but we talked about getting just a generic one for.
Yeah, that's right. And that was when we
I don't know the process for
when
that.
we initially thought that we might have to field attachments in order to have nominations. That was really important. You're right, we still need to have one. And if it hasn't been done, I'll make sure we get that done.
Yeah, because I've already gotten
it'll
a
be
question from a
generic.
nominator wanting to know how to send the CV.
You
So,
have. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we'll get that set up and shared with y'all.
and we may want to put that somewhere on the form.
I feel like meaning there should be a general email where if they don't have links or what have you, or just ask questions, and even if it funneled into someone else, one of our email addresses, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, we can
The play-
certainly
yeah.
do that. We had landed on a place after discussion of discouraging attachments and
Yeah.
period, right? But we can certainly make sure that since we're getting questions about it, we'll make sure we're set up that way, and we'll communicate back to y'all,
Yeah.
pretty
And
quickly.
the only
That way
other thing is
Go ahead.
The group already has an email address. Great.
Oh, okay.
This is what Paulette's saying.
yeah,
So
I thought so.
we'll make sure that everybody knows what that address is. We'll send it to you via email, and that way you can share it with people if they do ask about, providing a resume that way. Documents is generally going to be used for the working groups shared materials, right? The
So that was
policy
my next thing.
document.
Was that where the rubric template will be? Was it
We'll
that
make sure-
type of?
yes,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
rubric
Yeah.
template will be in there. That's the main functionality of the site.
Okay. No, this is great. I just want to make sure once we start looking. Well, those are my questions, Rob, or anyone else. Do you have? I don't want to hog the mic with all my questions. I'm a question asker. Okay.
No, as long as you have all the links, that sounds great.
Awesome. Well, good. I think are we feeling good about everything here? I'm just very appreciative of all of you all helping. I think dare I say I'm excited about this process. We actually have one. So here we go. And Lynn, I think you said it best. We have so many people to choose from. It'll be fun. It should be super easy.
Yep. That's been a good thing all along, Lynn. Is you saying we have a lot of very qualified people, right? That we
Right.
that
I
we
think
can
there are
honor.
so many deserving people, and I know from my perspective, I want to focus on the deserving people that we can agree on and to really get this process going, if that makes sense.
Yep. And, we have the criteria, so it should be
Yeah.
fairly straightforward. Yeah. Well, good. Do we need to discuss anything else? I want to make sure David, is there anything we
That's the last agenda item.
have
So,
missed that we need to discuss?
unless the working group has other items for discussion, I think we can adjourn.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. I guess without objection, we'll stand adjourned.
Good to see everybody. See you.
I
Nice
know
to
you
meet you
guys
all.
too. Yeah, thanks for
Everyone,
making the time.
Stay warm.
Bye.
See you in a couple of, see you in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
That's right. Alrighty,
Thank
bye.
you.
Hey, David, are you still on?
Thanks.
David,
David?
I think he's off, Chris.
Okay, it's Gino, the captioner. I just
Oh.
wanted to thank him. Thank you.
No, thanks, Gino, for your help.
Y'all have a good day.
You
Hey,
too.
I have to tell somebody. My son just got accepted to Carolina in the dentistry
Oh.
programs, and I'm so very proud.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad
That's
to be part of the
wonderful.
family.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your help today. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Y'all have